Good afternoon, Josie from Alana Wellness here. I hope you're well today. I wanted to today talk about how I started in the spiritual healing arts. First of all, I was raised as a Catholic and got all of my sacraments and all of that. And as I got older, I kind of wandered away from it. And when I got into the music business, I had no spiritual calling at all. So that made things very difficult for anyone in the music business. It's, if you don't have confidence in yourself, if you don't have connections, it's very hard. So I spent many years honing my craft of songwriting and playing in local clubs and occasionally on the road. And somewhere around the mid-'80s, I started just really feeling lost, and everything was changing. I was feeling vibrations. I was having strange dreams. And I come to find out a little bit later, I was having a spiritual awakening. And so as weeks and months went by, I needed to find some kind of place where I could find out how to deal with all of these feelings and dreams and wanting to run away and hide somewhere. So I went to, I think it was the Unitarian Church in Nashville, and met some people there and learned some things and kind of put me on a path to meditation and positive thinking, living in the moment. And then I went on and at some point started studying with a teacher of Native American ways, which was really wonderful. I learned a lot about their beliefs and their practices and their spiritual paths, and it gave me a foundation for becoming one with the earth, which is now like a main source of my healing energy that I receive from spirit. So I went from there to another metaphysical church that was a little different than the Unitarian, but it was a little more structured, and studied with them for 3 years and became a practitioner. And it was good, but then I started practicing Reiki. I was living with a woman who was going to college at Vanderbilt, and her professor taught Reiki. So I took Reiki 1 and then Reiki 2, and a couple of years later I took Reiki 3 Master Teacher. And that kind of brought me really into focus with my own meditation practices, bringing it all together and the energies that I was feeling and learning how to use them properly. And so that was great, and I started teaching a little bit. And then my dad had some heart issues, and they needed me to come home and help. So I moved back to my home state and moved in with them for a while to take care of him and my mom, and kind of lost my contacts and didn't really have anywhere. I didn't have any friends or anything there, so I was unable to really connect with Reiki, and if there was a community, I couldn't find one. So I got back into working in corporate America and did that for 17 years and practiced Reiki a little bit on myself and on my birds that I had at the time and cats that were in the house, but really did not develop a practice with clientele and that sort of thing. It really wasn't something that my family wanted me to do, so I just kind of let it go for a while. And then I moved to Delaware, and my husband and I, my soon-to-be husband and I, got married a couple of years later, and I went to work at a wild bird rescue. I worked there in the summers, and then I volunteered also. and I would do Reiki on the sickest animals, the sickest birds. It was all birds, and the babies. And that kind of got my energies going again, and still didn't practice much on myself, or didn't practice at all on anybody else. So then I became ill a few years after we got married, and had 2 serious illnesses in a row, and then a third one a few years later. And I knew I had to start really focusing on my own healing. So I got back into Reiki. I made myself a promise that I would practice Reiki on myself every day for 3 weeks. And that was 2 years ago, and I still practice Reiki every day. Faithfully, I practice for 2 hours, meditation, Reiki, and I even do, now that I'm doing sound healing, I do vocal toning. And I play my bowls, and I'm just immersed in a really lovely spiritual path that I'm just very blessed and thankful. So that's pretty much my story. I took sound healing classes about a year after I started doing Reiki, and began teaching as well, teaching Reiki again. And then I got certified in by several teachers of sound healing, and I studied everything from, learning how to buy bowls and what kind of instruments to use, how to give a sound bath, and all of that aspect. But I also got involved in the history and the science of sound healing. So for me, it's, I've only been doing it for a year now, so I still feel like I'm somewhat of a student, but I do give sound baths individually and in groups, and I just love it. Of all the things I do, that just really moves me the most, and my energies really seem balanced, and I'm more at peace and enjoying what I'm doing. So that's my story. I think I'll play you some bowls for a little bit, and I would invite you all to come to my channel and watch some of my videos. I'd love to hear from you on what you think works and what you would like to hear. And I would be most appreciative if you would subscribe to my page. And here we go. So if you'll get into a position that's comfortable and begin to let go of some tension, let your shoulders hang down. Just kind of shake off all the tension of the day. And close your eyes. And we'll take in 3 cleansing breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. You're going to breathe into your belly and hold it until I say release. So here we go. Breathe in. And release. And breathe in. And release. One more. Breathe in. And release. And continue breathing. This time you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And it's just going to be very soft breathing. Find a rhythm where you're just letting in enough air and it can move around, get into your bloodstream, and you'll feel much better. So here we go. I'll let you have this time to yourself and enjoy. Now it's time to come back. As you hear these bells, begin to wiggle your toes and fingers. And stretch around a little bit and move your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for watching this video and learning a little bit about my path. And I hope that if you are awakening spiritually, that you will find ways to cope with what's going on. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, Josie Alana Wellness by Josie. And if you have any questions, you can leave me a message once you've subscribed to my community page, and I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have. And I wish you very rich blessings for the day and the week, and be well.